Have you ever found yourself standing in front of something you desperately needed, but feeling too unsure to reach out for it? Maybe it was guidance. Maybe comfort. Maybe clarity. Maybe just someone to listen. Matthew 7:11 holds a message that sounds simple on the surface. Ask, and you will receive. Seek, and you will find. But when life gets complicated, those words can feel distant, almost too good to be true. So today, instead of just quoting the verse, I want to take you into a story, a quiet, ordinary moment that helps us feel what Jesus meant. Picture a small house on a late afternoon, sunlight spilling through dusty windows, the soft sound of tools clinking in the garage. Inside stands a young boy named Elias, 8 years old, thoughtful, a little shy. Elias has a dream. He wants to build a tiny wooden boat. Not for school, not for a project, just because he wants to see something he imagined come to life. But he knows he can't do it alone. So he walks into the garage where his father is working. He pauses in the doorway, hands tucked into his pockets, eyes watching quietly. His father looks up. There's a gentle smile, the kind that comes from love that doesn't need words. "Hey buddy," he says. "You need something, Elias? Hesitates." You can almost feel the moment, a swirl of doubt, the fear of being a burden. But then, in a small voice, he says, "Dad, can you help me build a boat?" There's no disappointment, no sigh, no hesitation. His father simply wipes his hands, stands up, and says, "Of course, let's build it together." This is the heart of Matthew 7:7-11. Jesus says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened for you." These aren't the words of someone distant, demanding respect from far away. They're the words of someone close, someone who notices when you're standing in the doorway. Onsure, if you're allowed to speak. Then Jesus takes it even further. He asks something beautifully human. If your child asks for bread, would you give them a stone? If they ask for a fish, would you hand them a snake? Of course not. Even imperfect human parents know how to give good gifts. And then Jesus says, with a softness that feels almost like a whisper, "How much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him?" Those words change the whole picture. God doesn't shame us for asking. He doesn't roll his eyes. He doesn't say, "You again." He listens, he responds, he cares. Back in the garage, Elias and his father begin working. The sound of sanding, the tapping of nails, the smell of wood shavings on the floor. Hours pass, but to them, it feels like minutes. Elias isn't just building a toy. He's learning something deep and invisible. That asking doesn't push his father away. It brings them closer. He learns that help isn't weakness. It's relationship. And when the little boat finally sits, finished on the workbench, bright, smooth, painted with colors, Elias smiles. Not just because the boat is beautiful, but because he didn't make it alone. There was someone who cared enough to kneel beside him, to teach him, to build with him. We're not so different from that young boy. Many of us carry dreams, fears, and questions that we tuck quietly into our hearts, thinking they are too small, or too heavy, or too complicated to bring to God. But Jesus says otherwise. Ask, seek, knock, not because God is a dispenser of everything we want, but because he is a father who invites us to come close. Sometimes the answers don't look like we expect. Sometimes the timing stretches longer than we'd prefer, but the heart behind the invitation remains the same. You don't have to stand silently in the doorway. You can speak. You can reach out. You can knock on the door because someone loving is already on the other side. If you're watching this today and you've been carrying something in unspoken prayer, a quiet hope, a worry you pushed down because you didn't think God wanted to hear it, maybe today is the moment to try asking again. Just like Elias, you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need perfect words. You don't need confidence. You just need honesty. And the God Jesus describes, a God who gives good gifts, who listens deeply, who responds with love, that God is already listening. So wherever you are, whatever door you're standing in front of, knock, ask, seek. You might be surprised by what opens.